All right, y'all, let's get into the Great Divide real quick. This goes along with the vision and the dreams that I've been shown, but there's going to be an event, and I see this coming up in Biden or Kamala, the 46th or 47th president, okay? And if Moses comes on and Kamala rides the beast, then the 47 can actually be the next president that's actually voted in, because it makes the numbers the 3 and 1 per se, okay? So that's how Donald Trump is the 44 and 45, Biden's the 45, 46, blah, 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 okay? But this Great Divide I see coming up in these time frames, okay? And this Great Divide, I see it more for like 2024, okay? But it will be up the middle of the nation, the heartland, the Bible Belt, and it will break in a sense, okay? And this, in the most extreme form, is going to be like the gas and oil lines rupturing, or like an attack up 35 or whatever, okay? But like the infrastructure basically in the heartland is going to be broken up to where you either got to go east or west, okay? And what they've done right now is they're making the west look really, really bad. But the west is where you want to go, okay? If you're in the Bible Belt, in the heartland, if you're in Judea, it says in Matthew 24, for those of you who are in the Judea, to flee when you see the abomination of desolation. So when you see this abomination, you're going to flee. Okay, you're going to go and meet. You don't have the time to take nothing. Okay, so when this comes, this is when I see that Great Divide coming in a physical way, because the nation has to be divided physically, I see, before it can be done spiritually. And this is where the red and the blue separate. Okay, and then you'd have your purple come in, which is your like Meghan and Harry later on, or however they change the laws, because they'll change it to where anybody can vote from any country, or however it all works, okay? It'd be a land of freedom per se. And obviously you'd have good kings and bad kings at that point, and then it would peak up to where you would have the same cycle that we have today, where the true faith and true believers, they intermingle into the world, and just like in Genesis 1, and then Noah, and it's everything all together. And now everything's together, and we're all being separated, okay? So, it's getting to a point like they just caused a mass exodus on the West Coast, okay? But the East Coast is the Beast Coast. That's the Ron DeSantis hell on earth area. And that's the area everybody's going to be wanting to go to. But that's the last area you want to go to, okay? There's 2 mountains in Judea. There's the ones in the east and the ones in the west. And how we're propagated, we're to go east, the beast. So the west is where you'd want to go, like I'll be going to the Four Corners or somewhere area like that, the Four Corn in Ears, or Thermopolis, Wyoming, or some places like that. When this all first started, the Lord had me mapping out all kinds of stuff. Like I didn't know what I was doing, dude. It showed me this, and then I was like, well, I got to do this, and I got to figure. I mean, y'all, it was nuts. It's like something just, the Spirit just came over me and said, you got to do this, and I was like, okay, and I just did it, and it just kept going and going, and I like mapped out every freaking thing, and everything I went to, it would pop off. So the West Coast is where like so-called heaven is going to be, where so-called hell is now per se, but it has to work itself out. Anyways, so there's going to be this divide coming up in one way, shape, or form, whether it's through like state by state, region by region, or whatever, okay? The real idea is setting this up, but it might be even where you're locked down in your state. But I see like in the future, wherever you are is where you're going to be, okay? Like after this big event and things settle down, wherever you are, that's where you are, okay? Because there's no gas, there's no whatever. I've seen the people living in tents, their cars, setting up societies on the side, just being stuck out in the middle of nowhere, not knowing any survival skills, not having water, not having anything. It's like It's the critical race. It's where your carcass is left in the wilderness. And your carcass is your car. And you saying, son of a bitch, it's out of gas. We got to walk now. There's no gas station. M&P. Blah, 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 blah. But we're getting to a point where it's getting cliche. And everything's kind of matching everything because we're seeing where these things were built up. Okay? And we're seeing the parables fulfill the syllables. The syllables fulfill the parables. And it's just like in the movies, the television, where the bad guys or whatever, the good guys, they match their names. Okay? The Jeremy, my name. J is a H also. The hair, right? I cut hair. The Arami, the Arami. The Rushlow, the rock under the water. The Den Us for the United States. Anyways, I got to go to work. Big divide coming.